I wasn't convinced about the advent of foldable smartphones until I experienced the Pixel Fold. For starters, there are fewer folding phones available in the United States than in China, and the tight, too narrow outer display of Z Fold series has never worked well with my huge hands. So Google immediately piqued my interest when it unveiled a squat, passport-shaped folding phone. I've been using Pixels for years, so I'm familiar with Google's strengths and weaknesses. The software is tidy, you get some very useful Pixel-only features. The Recorded app is a godsend in my line of work, and the camera performance is unrivaled, at least for still photos. However, performance never compares to Qualcomm's latest Snapdragon CPUs. The devices run slightly warm, and there are occasional weird hardware oddities. Did you know that every Pixel 8 and 8 Pro features microscopic bumps under the display that are only visible under certain lighting conditions? Now you do. However, the Pixel Fold quickly overcame these cumulative disadvantages. It's not a flawless gadget, but in this case, the total is greater than the parts. I've grown to like the first-generation Pixel Fold, but there are a few niggling issues that I want to see addressed in the impending Pixel 9 Pro Fold. The first thing I discovered was that if you have a good phone on the outside, you won't open the inside display as frequently as you might imagine at least once the honeymoon period wears off. The Fold's external screen is absolutely usable for the majority of what I do with my smartphone. When I want to watch YouTube, Netflix, or read the news using the New York Times app, I normally unfold it. Sure, I've multitasked with 2 apps at once on occasion, and Google has made the process easier with software updates, but it's not a typical occurrence. I'm still primarily using the large canvas to concentrate on one thing at a time, albeit with much better immersion. My main issue with the Pixel Fold has always been the display brightness or lack thereof. Only a few months after its release last year, the $1,700 smartphone was outperformed by the substantially less expensive Pixel 8 series and Google's new actual and super actual screens. They are quite bright and easy to use outdoors. With the Fold, I've constantly had the brightness slider set to above 80%, which is detrimental for the battery life. When the sun is shining, it can be difficult to see this phone, and the highly reflective inside screen just adds to that. If there's one flaw I'm very convinced Google will address the second time around, it's the lack of pop. All indicators point to the business bringing its most advanced and brightest display technology to its second-generation foldable. A lighter frame is another significant change I want to see. The Pixel Fold is a pretty heavy phone, even for me, a 6-stone man with enormous hands, and can be tiring to carry over time. I didn't expect miracles from the Pixel Fold's battery life. Is it realistic to expect this from any foldable? Furthermore, Google's Tensor processors have never been known for efficiency. However, the Fold performed admirably even on days when the huge display was rarely used. It wasn't always guaranteed that there would be enough juice left when I arrived home after a long day, but the phone usually always survived. The Fold, like previous Pixels, can charge slowly when actively used while plugged in. Overall, its endurance is surpassed by the more conventional Pixel 8 Pro, but this is to be expected when pitting 2 screens against one. The Pixel 9 Pro Fold is said to look similar to the OnePlus Open, but with a higher profile. You'll essentially be given a conventional phone on the outside. That means the aspect ratio of the inner display will change, which is good because I discovered that many apps had black bars on both sides when I opened the folder. This is Android, so you can't expect developers to rapidly embrace a certain device. Google eventually added a feature that forces apps to go full screen in software, but the 9 Pro Fold's additional dimensions should imply that more apps will do so by default. Plenty of apps work well with the Fold. Editing images from my mirrorless camera in Adobe Lightroom has been a terrific experience from the start, even if the gadget does get a bit warm. If I'm not traveling with my iPad, this is the next best thing for making changes while on the go. I've used 2 Fold review units in the past year, and neither has broken or had any major screen issues. However, not everyone has been as fortunate, and having any foldable serviced or replaced under warranty can be a hassle. The glossy camera bar will undoubtedly show wear and tear, and scratches on the soft inside display are unavoidable. However, when the screen is lit up, they, like the crease, are easy to overlook. The speakers on this $1,700 phone are very mid-range. They are blown away by Apple's iPhone 15 Pro Max, the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, and Google's Pixel 8 Pro. Give me something with more oomph, Google, please. The Pixel Fold's cameras complete the task. They're trustworthy, as Allison stated in her evaluation. However, they aren't really noteworthy. Google's computational photography magic can help you improve your images, but you're working with a smaller sensor than what's found in most flagship phones, and software can't totally compensate for that. Google is preparing to unveil the Pixel 9 Pro Fold today. The initial Pixel Fold did enough to make me believe in foldable. The business now needs to demonstrate that it can take that promise and versatility to the next level, and ideally, the screen brightness as well. Google Pixels are consistently at the top of our ranking of the best camera phones, thanks to a strong combination of superb hardware and software. And because I prefer optical zoom lenses over digital ones, I chose the Pro models. In my situation, the extra expense was worthwhile due to the camera lens and the larger screen. Of course, camera hardware isn't everything, and the Google Pixels are an excellent example of this. Google was one of the last big phone firms to implement a multi-lens camera, introducing a second lens to the Pixel 4 in 2019. Previously, the corporation argued that their software was excellent, that a second camera was unnecessary, and those cameras were undeniably excellent. Plus, with advancements in AI and machine learning, those photographs should look better than ever, all thanks to the software. So we don't know how much better or worse the Pixel 9 Pro Fold's camera will be compared to the Pixel 9 Pro and 9 Pro XL, and the idea that the main camera may not be the same as the non-folding variants doesn't inspire confidence. If I'm going to pay a premium for a foldable phone, I expect it to be on par with the flagship. Ideally, something better would help to justify the price, but that may be asking too much. Just compare the camera hardware on the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra and the Galaxy Z Fold 6. Thankfully, rumors suggest that the Pixel 9 Pro Fold will not fall into the same traps as its predecessors and will include similar hardware, such as the Tensor G4 chipset, 16 gigs of RAM, and a 6.3-inch cover display. However, the addition of a larger 8-inch foldable inner display raises the question of whether the rumored $1,799 price tag is justified, especially given that foldable like the Z Fold 6 and OnePlus Open offer extra features such as S Pen support and the best multitasking interface we've seen on a smartphone. When it comes down to it, the foldable screen is always the most expensive option. It's a gimmick without a doubt, and anyone who claims otherwise is completely incorrect. But it's a fun gimmick. There's something appealing about having a tablet-sized display without having to carry one along. But is the gimmick worth nearly $1,800? Not by itself. The primary issue with foldables is their excessive price. Not only are they nearly double the price of many non-folding flagships, but it doesn't seem like they're giving two phones the same amount of features to justify it. Just a hinge and an extra-large screen. Costs have been decreasing in several areas. The OnePlus Open has decreased its starting price to $1,399, while the Motorola Razr 2024 and Razr Plus 2024 remain under $1,000. However, the Z Fold 6's price has increased by $100, and it now starts at $1,899. Therefore, the issue of high prices is unlikely to go away very soon. I've tried foldable phones several times and had a positive experience with them. Will I ever buy one for myself? I might be tempted to buy a flagship flippable one day, such as the Motorola Razr Plus 2024, but I'd have to think about whether my money would be better spent on a non-folding phone. Larger book-style foldables, like the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, are unlikely to become a reality soon. I don't have the money to buy such a costly device, and I wouldn't be able to justify it even if I did. Furthermore, the fact that foldable phone specifications continue to disappoint when compared to their non-folding counterparts makes it unlikely that I'll ever want to spend so much money on one. Let's hope that phone manufacturers, including Google, receive the message over the next few years and begin offering more incentives to spend so much money on a single device. So let us know thought about this in the comment section. Then we'll see you in the next one. See you tomorrow. Peace out.